What is up, everyone? Welcome to round 4 of the Portland Monthly Premodern Paper Magic Afternoons April 2025 tournament. We got two really cool, unique decks to show you, so without further ado, let's get into those deck lists. First up, we have Moze with Tempting Wurm, or Red, Green, Black for all you old schoolers out there. This is a hand attack deck, bit of more of a mid-range deck with the goal of stripping your opponent of all the good cards in their hand, and then landing a Tempting Wurm, a 2-drop 5/5 that does let your opponent put any permanents from their hand into play, which is a pretty bad downside, unless they don't have any cards in hand. To accomplish this, we're running all kinds of hand attack with 4 Cabal Therapies, 4 Duresses, and 4 Ravenous Rats. Besides the 4 Tempting Wurms, we do have some more mid-range plan here with 4 Call the Herds, 2 Rotting Giants, which is pretty smart considering all of the spells we're using in this deck, plus we'll get into the mana base later, 1 Graveborn Muse for a bit of card draw, and also notably the Rotting Giants are also the only other main board zombies, 1 Grim Lavamancer, 2 Phyrexian Furnace, 2 Sylvan Library, 4 Bolts, 2 Terminates, and 2 Smothers. As for the mana base, we have a full 8 fetches to help us fix colors, but also fodder for the Rotting Giants, 4 Landwar Wastes, 2 Sulphurous Springs, 2 Treetop Villages, 1 Diagra's Caldera, 3 Swamps, 2 forests, and 2 mountains. In the sideboard, we have 4 naturalizes, 4 pyroclasms, 2 pyroblasts, 2 red elemental blasts, the remaining 2 Phyrexian furnaces, and a spicy one of Fire Covenant. Overall, this is a really cool list, one I've wanted to try out for a while as well, so I'm excited to see how it plays. But before we get into the games, let's see who he's playing against. Next up is TK returning to the camera with an Aluren brew, and this is 4-color Aluren. Now the prints are going to throw me for a little bit of a loop here, but basically this is an Aluren combo that lets you draw your entire deck to brain freeze your opponent, or endlessly cast your Maggot Carrier from the sideboard. There is a Living Wish package in here, or if all else fails, there is of course just playing the Fair Creature plan, which is what this deck really does not want to do. One of the interesting things about creature-based combo is you are playing some, well, maybe less than perfect creatures, but let's start off with the big hits. We got 2 of Cloud of Fairies in the main, 3 Academy Rectors. For mana acceleration and a little bit of fixing, we have 3 Wall of Roots and 4 Birds of Paradise. As for the combo pieces, we have 2 Wirewood Savage, 3 Raven Familiars, which do just help you find your combo pieces, 4 Wall Blossoms, again for some card draw, 3 Cavern Harpies, which are key to the combo, 3 Mana War, which are just good pseudo removal spells, but also can get your combo restarted again potentially. To protect the combo, he is running 3 Cabal Therapies, which is a bit of a, I think, new add in this deck. 2 Living Wishes. I did mention there is a lot of combo pieces and other win cons in the side. 2 Swords of Plowshares. I believe that's the Strixhaven print. 2 Brain Freezes main, which is one of the win cons. 1 Sylvan Library, and of course 4 Allurens. As for the mana base, it's a bit painful. We have 3 City of Brasses, 4 Yavimaya Coasts, 4 Gemstone Mines, 2 Brushlands, 2 Forests, an Island, 2 Landwar Wastes, and I believe 2 Lair Lands. They're in Japanese and not a printing I can recognize from the top of it, so I'm guessing those are Lair Lands because we are playing with Gemstone Mines and those two go pretty well together. As for the sideboard, we have 1 of Maggot Carrier, a 1 of City of Brass because Living Wish can grab a land, Utabi Orangutan, a 1 of Cavern Harpy, again combo piece, Mana War, removal piece, a Soul Warden, which actually is another win con in this deck I forgot to mention, is that you just gain infinite life, a 1 of Wall of Roots, a 1 of Raven Familiar, a 1 of Wirewood Savage, again important pieces in the combo, the 3rd Swords of Plowshares, a Cloud of Fairies, a 1 of Naturalize, a 1 of Academy Rector, 2nd Naturalize, not grouped together, and a 1 of Monk Idealist. A lot of spicy 1-ofs here, a lot of innovation going on in this list. Hopefully we get to see it combo off as well, because I'm sure I've done a really terrible job explaining how it works, and it's always better to see in person. So let's stop talking about it and just get into those games. And here we go. Moses on the left, TK is on the right. Now this is going to be a bit of a tough matchup for TK if Mose can find his hand attack early on, and he does have a lot of it, and if he can guess exactly what TK is up to, which it looks like he does have a copy of Aluren in hand, so that's a pretty good indicator, I guess. Aluren also one of the very few pieces that, Mose can actually target with, say, a Duress. Cabal Therapy, of course, can get whatever you want. That's a non-land, but it helps to know exactly what your opponent has in hand and not try to blind name. All right, looks like Mose is going to mulligan here. We are going to cut to when he has a keepable hand. All right, hopefully Mose can find a keepable 6 here. Now, I realize also I talked about the Aluren combo deck and being a creature combo deck, but I didn't really talk about the card Aluren itself. It is a 4-drop enchantment. Any player may play creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less without paying their mana cost, and as though they had flash. So this, paired with several different cards in TK's deck, allows him to draw his whole deck, make lots of mana, infinite mana actually, potentially gain infinite life, do lots of really funky stuff like that. All right, we gotta start here. Moze does have a Keeble 6, Birds of Paradise out for TK on the play, and here's a Duress hitting the only thing it can, the one thing we were worried about, Aluren. And now Moze is very aware of what TK's on, and TK actually had a very good combo hand. He was just missing, I believe, the Wirewood Savage for the combo out here. Wirewood Savage, whenever you play a beast, I believe you draw a card, and that Cavern Harpy happens to be a beast. It also happens to return itself to hand when you cast it. So you can play it infinitely thanks to Aluren, instant speed, draw your whole deck or however much you need to then combo out. Alright, TK playing a land for turn and is opting to just pass here. Now the Raven Familiar is a 3-drop. He could cast it here, but it is a great way for him to find his combo pieces. It does have Echo, so he doesn't necessarily want to be paying for it twice, but when ETBs, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This is one of the ways he can repeatedly, find cards through his deck. If he has infinite mana. All right, there's a Smother on the Birds of Paradise. Now, Moze does have bolts in his deck, but we're not seeing any in hand at this time. So no Bolt the Bird, just Smother the Bird. Not as catchy, but... Okay, so we're going to play out the Raven Familiar here. He's going to get to look at the top 3 cards, put one into hand. It looks like, is that a Cloud of Fairies and 2 Cabal Therapies? Does he want to try and point the hand attack back at him? Looks like he is grabbing a Cabal Therapy here. Yep, they'll just go on the bottom. And pass. So next turn, looking to set up some hand attack. Alright, Wooded Foothills for Moze. He's gone hand attack, removal spell. I did mention the deck tech. This deck does just have a lot of hand attack. It does have the mid-range creatures. However, I don't think he wants to try and play out a Tempting Wurm here, even though he does know that TK just has the Cavern Harpy, which would bounce actually probably the Raven Familiar. Let me just look up Cavern Harpy. I believe it's return a blue or black creature whenever you cast it. Okay, there's a Call of the Herd. Yes, good mid-range threat. Yeah, Cavern Harpy is a 2/1 for a blue and a black flying. When ETBs, return a blue or black creature you control. It's on his hand. You can also pay 1 life to return Cavern Harpy to your hand, which makes it very hard to interact with and remove. So, if you're trying to interact with the combo... Okay, we are going to Cabal Therapy here. What are you naming, TK? But yeah, the Cavern Harpy is very hard to remove. You have to go after the other combo pieces. The Wirewood Savage is probably the easiest one. Okay, there's a Bolt, a Smother, and a Landwar Waste. Nothing's being moved to the graveyard, so we can assume the... Yeah, okay. Also, notably, TK did not pay for the Echo cost on the Raven Familiar. Okay, there's a Living Wish. Are we grabbing a City of Brass here? No, an Academy Rector. Academy Rector does cost 4. When it dies, you get to go put an enchantment on the battlefield, and there's only one enchantment TK really wants to get, and that is Sylvan Library. I'm just fucking with you. It's Aluren. It's the name of the deck. The one of Sylvan Library would be pretty good, but yeah, you want to have Aluren. Okay. Moze getting in with the elephant. He doesn't have money, or mana, not money. He's got enough mana to flash it back. I don't know, maybe enough money too. I think those are the original Odyssey prints. Does anyone check to see how much those cards are now? It's kind of ridiculous. You can still get the time spiral or time shifted ones for under $2, but for whatever reason, the Odyssey ones are like $8-9. I don't want to say it's MTG Finance Bros specking on it because of how awesome Premodern is, but it almost feels like that. I'm a little sad I sold mine. I actually just have the time shifted ones now. A couple play sets, but you know. All right, Mo's in the tank here. Deciding if he wants to hold up mana for a combo. No, he is just going to flash back the elephant. All right. Mo's is using these, I believe they're Ice Age woolly mammoths. Or maybe 4th edition. Looks like 4th edition. All right. Passing TK. TK tapping for 4. Plays an Academy Rector. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember what Academy Rector's stats are, but I don't think it's trading with an elephant, and we don't even need to worry about it because he's sacking it to Cabal Therapy. And getting Aluren. And what do you name here? Do you name Bolt or Smother? Wirewood Savage, which is the easiest piece of the combo to interact with, is a 2/2, so Bolt, I guess? No, did he name neither? Interesting. I wonder what TK named. Why wouldn't you go for the sure thing? I guess Naturalized, maybe? He's scared of the Aluren getting blown up. Lots of decks do run main deck Naturalize. Although I'm pretty sure Mo's deck actually doesn't. Alright, there's a Cloud of Fairies. Untap 2 lands. There's a Cavern Harpy. Cavern Harpy is going to... I mean, you can bounce the Cloud of Fairies to untap another 2 lands, right? Oh, I see. Alright. TK getting the combo in here. Brain freezing, just casting the Cavern Harpy over and over again. Mill you out for all your cards. That's pretty cool. Well, sometimes all you need is Aluren, Cavern Harpy, and Brain Freeze. That's pretty sweet. Alright, we got to see the combo deck do its thing, but now Mose is aware of what's going on. I'm sure he's brought in the disruption pieces, the enchantment hate, all that good stuff. The graveyard hate, not super important. Alright, and TK... I think has another Aluren start. Bo's going to be kicking us off. No hand disruption this time. Alright, tapping 2 for a Sylvan Library. Say go. Gonna take a point off of that Llanowar Waste. Gemstone Mine for TK. His mana base is quite excessive. There's a lot of colors that need to be cast until you get up to the Aluren stage. Okay, there's a Wall of Roots. Those resolving his Sylvan Library trigger here. And is going to be taking 4 here. Tap 1 for a Duress. Let's see what we find. There's swords, another Wall of Roots, another Aluren. Yep, taking the Aluren makes sense. Mana War as well, a Gemstone Mine. Yeah, okay. Definitely not as combo focused as the last one, or as the last game, but as we saw, sometimes TK can just draw into it. Having the Academy Rectors does help for sure. Makes those 4 copies of Aluren functionally into 8, especially with Cabal Therapy. That was one of the things that he was actually looking to try in this monthly was Cabal Therapy. Academy Rector just as a sack outlet. Alright, there's a Cabal Therapy hitting Wall Blossoms. Another gemstone mine coming down.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just thinking about what order of things I want to do.
Do you play out the next wall of roots, maybe?
Okay, we're gonna start by.
Alright, looks like he will. Not going to use the other wall of roots to cast it.
And then we will go green, green.
Okay, gonna... Oh, how about a third wall of roots? Alright.
These are minus.
Using mana from both to cast the third one, and we've got a wall. Here we go.
Mana. Would you like to attack me?
Now, Mose knows that he's not winning, or he's not losing through incremental points of damage. Oh, actually not taking 4 here. Okay. Maybe wanting to fetch. No, no fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen. There's 3 for Call the Herd. It almost worked well last time. Little less good this time. He's got 2 04s and an 05 to deal with.
I'd like to swords.
There's the swords for the elephant, gain 3.
Go to my turn.
And a pass.
I'll play Land Warriors.
Land drop for TK. Just has the Mana War.
Pass.
Gonna pass. Maybe firing off that sword's a little too early. Could have Mana War to the token this time. Umos with a little bit of Cyber Tech. I see a Pyroblast in his hand. 2 of them, actually. So that Mana War not resolving. Okay, there's a Rotting Giant and a Grim Lavamancer, which are very strange bedfellows because they both are exiling cards from the graveyard, from your graveyard. One needs it to deal 2 damage, and the Rotting Giant needs it to either attack or block. It is a very good stat line for Premodern. 2 mana 3/3, where you just have to exile a card in your graveyard. If you're casting lots of spells, have lots of fetches, that sort of thing, it is actually pretty easy to do. Okay, we're casting 3 here, 4 and Aluren.
Pass.
And say go. Alright, you and I both know that Mana War is not going to be resolving. Goes with double Pyroblast.
Okay. I don't like just leaving.
Looks like he took took some damage here from the library. Land for turn. Trying to decide if he can swing out here. Okay, we're doing a little reorg of the dice just to make it more even, I guess. Technically, that lightning bolt in his hand can kill one of the walls. Is it worth it? No, we're tapping 4. We're flashing back the elephant. Call the Herd, just a fantastic Premodern card. 2 3/3s for 1 card is just obviously a very good rate. Notably, TK not casting the Mana War in Moses' end step to bounce anything. There's the second Aluren. The first one was fine. Second one, I guess, is just redundancy in case. Alright, there's a bolt for one of the walls. One of those walls is an 02. One of them is still an 04, so that is potentially enough of a blocker to prevent those from swinging in, but I think he might just do it anyways. He can at least get 3 points in. He needs to start dealing some damage. There's a Tempting Wurm. Trying to get TK to... Okay, we're going to swing in with both the Rotting Giant and the Elephant token. Trying to get TK to Mana War. Or cast the Mana War. Okay, exile a card. Or 2 cards, I should say. kill the wall that already has damage on it. Then pay 2 for a Tempting Wurm. Now, Mose doesn't actually have to pay mana here because of Aluren. I think TK is telling him that. And Mose is saying, well, I already did it, so...
Yeah. I would like to cast Mana War.
Okay, there's a Mana War. Probably targeting the elephant. There's a Pyroblast.
Yeah.
To counter the Mana War.
Pass.
TK just saying go. And suddenly his walls have come crumbling down. Mose has a 5/5, a 3/3, a 3/3 Rotting Giant, which he can functionally attack with, and a Grim Lavamancer here that can't activate currently, but that could change. I do see a fetch land in that 3 Mose is looking at. Mose just taking 1 here. Oh, thinking about it. Okay, gonna take 2, taking 4 points, dropping to 5. I believe Mose has done all the damage to himself this game. Gonna fetch, go down to 4. Those pain lands being very painful, for sure. But sometimes you just gotta find the mana. Also helps your Rotting Giant actually be able to swing in. I believe there was actually a legacy deck for a little while that played Rotting Giant and fetches, and was actually quite good. I'm blanking on the name of it, but that was also legacy where you could find dual lands. So when you find a bad lands, it does make your mana considerably better. Oh, there is a bolt in hand too. Alright, we're gonna swing with everything. Exile 1 card to the Rotting Giant. TK is gonna block the Tempting Wurm, I assume. Take 6. Pass to you. There's a Cavern Harpy. I'll play it with Aluren. There's a Pyroblast. And that is unfortunate. I think this is pretty much all wrapped up. Yep, there's 2 from Grim Lavamancer. There is a bolt in Mose's hand, so he can bolt, attack with the Giant. He cannot take any more cards from Sylvan Library, otherwise he's dead. Alright, there's a Brain Freeze, and nope. TK is just scooping it up. We're going to game number 3. Alright, here we are in game number 3. You guys see both decks do their thing. The hand attack plan really working for Mose in game number 2. Actually, both games hitting Aluren off of Duress both times. And it does have a Duress in hand this time, it looks like, but does TK have an Aluren hand? Looks like he might. Is he gonna go 3 for 3 with Aluren hands? And 3 for 3 with losing them to Duress? This does seem like a pretty decent hand. He's got a lot of lands. He does have a Cavern Harpy. He got a Swords. It could be playable. Alright, looks like he's gonna keep. Mose deciding if he would like to keep as well. He does have hand attack early. I don't know if he's got a threat. Yeah, he's got a Color Herd. Okay, so are we looking at if he's got enough lands? Or the right color lands? Alright, Mose is gonna mulligan. We're gonna cut to when he keeps. Mose with the keep 6. TK starting us off. TK does have a Birds of Paradise. I was wondering about that. Alright, there's a City of Brass. Don't forget to take up 1 damage. There you go. Into a Bop. Is the Bop gonna get bolted? I thought I might have seen a bolt. Alright, we're gonna crack the fetch here. Probably getting a mountain, I have to imagine. I think there is only 1, maybe 2 in Moses' deck. Yeah. I think 2. That makes sense with at least 2 with the Windswept Heath. Or Wooded Foothills, sorry. Yeah, both of those fetches can grab red. I almost wonder if there's a way to kind of rearrange the list so red is the most prominent color in Jund Tempting Wurm. I know a lot of the sideboard is red too, which probably helps with that, but yeah, if all 8 of your fetches can get red, that's a lot of red sources. All right, there is the bolt for the bird.
That's what you're supposed to do.
All is right with the universe. All right, TK drawing a Cabal Therapy here. He could try to blind name. Looks like he's going to. Yep. Gonna take a point to do so.
Grim Lavamancer. I apologize.
And wow, okay, name Grim Lavamancer and actually hit it, and we get to see what's in the rest of Moses' hand. A Swamp, a Duress,
What I was gonna hit. Okay.
a Rotting Giant, and a Pyroblast. Alright, there's a Gemstone Mine and pass. Duress you hit Aluren and some other things. Yep. So 3 for 3. TK starts with Aluren. 3 for 3. He loses it to Duress.
I would like to float a green.
Alright, tapping 1 here. Playing out the lair. I think this is the Bant lair. I'm blanking on what it's called. Treva? It might be Treva's Runes. Yeah. And there's a Wall Blossoms. Alright, draw a card off the Wall Blossoms. I think that was another Wall Blossoms, potentially. And say go.
Is there anything else that I care about?
Alright, fetch for turn. Gonna go ahead and fetch. Probably just grab Forest. Get all your colors. Unless he wants to hold up red to bluff another Pyroblast or another form of interaction, but no, we're just gonna get a Forest. Tapping 2 for Rotting Giant, say go. Still holding up Pyroblast. And TK will take the bait here. I'm assuming it's bait to get that Swords out of hand. Rotting Giant is a good card, but we know that Mose has some scarier things in the deck. Can't get past the Wall Blossoms anyways, so. Alright, Gemstone Mine's coming back down for TK. Tapping it for 1. Alright, there's a Living Wish. Any responses to the Living Wish? No, okay. Getting an Academy Rector makes sense. We know he's got Cabal Therapy in hand. He's all ready for the combo. Okay, there's a Treetop Village. Land for turn. Now he can play out the Academy Rector here. But is he ready to go for the combo? He knows there's a Pyroblast. So he has to have backup Cavern Harpy. Alright, gonna take a point from the City of Brass. Gonna sack. I guess you can get the Pyroblast, right, with the Cabal Therapy. And then hope his other piece is Brain Freeze or something? Alright. Sacking Cabal Therapy, or sacking the Academy Rector to Cabal Therapy to get Aluren. And there's a Naturalize. Now, the way this works, I believe the Aluren coming out on the field resolves before the Cabal Therapy. Yes, because you sack the Academy Rector to the Cabal Therapy. The Academy Rector dies, so that trigger resolves first, and then Cabal Therapy resolves. So he can't combo out here. Alright, yeah, so the Aluren will hit the bin. That is 2 out of 4 of TK's Alurens. Bose is hellbent, does have a Treetop Village, but is just going to say a pass. Alright, there's a Raven Familiar. Might as well cast it, get a glimpse at what's in store for you. Look at the top 3 cards. Going to take a point from the City of Brass. That City of Brass doing a lot this game. Okay, there's a Brain Freeze and an Aluren. And I bet TK is wishing he could take more than one card here, because some of them are going to the bottom. I think you have to take the Aluren. Unfortunately, the Raven Familiar is going to die before you get to cast it, unless you decide to pay the echo cost to try and take an extra turn to potentially get the Raven back, but that's a lot. All right, there's a Cabal Therapy. What are we naming? You just name Cavern Harpy. It is one of the combo pieces. It is a for sure hit. Or do you risk it? What are the odds he's got the third Aluren? Not great. I probably wouldn't be naming it. I would probably be naming the Cavern Harpy, to be honest. But again, Mose does not know what's in TK's deck. Ooh, he did name Cavern Harpy and got both. That is rough. Alright, there's gonna learn. Okay, we're gonna reanimate the Treetop Village, sack it to Cabal Therapy to get the Aluren. And really just trying to prevent any combo potential. That is 3 out of 4. I know I joked in the deck tech about TK's backup plan to be just casting bad creatures. He is paying for the echo cost here because he can get in with the Raven Familiar. I was joking. This is not usually what the Aluren deck wants to do, is be a bad creature deck, but it's really all TK's got going on right now. There's a Rotting Giant. That Wall Blossoms can block it pretty effectively. So might as well just keep swinging in with the Raven. That is your path to victory. It is a very slow path. Mo's finally dropping below 20 because of that swords on a previous, I think, Rotting Giant, yeah. Okay, there is a Wireward Savage. That is a combo piece. TK, of course, needing Aluren and the Cavern Harpy to really go off, but it could potentially just incidentally draw him some cards. Alright, there's a black for Cabal Therapy. What do we name? I think 2 of the Cavern Harpies are in the bin. 3 of the Alurens are in the bin. If you saw Living Wish, which Mose did, you can assume that maybe one of the Cavern Harpies is in there. Okay, there's, yeah, Man of War. Is the Man of War important enough to sack the Rotting Giant to? I don't think so. Alright, Mo's just gonna pass. I think you do cast the Man of War. Try to get in. No, okay, just gonna get in for 1. Granted, TK knows his deck better than I do, but I'd be casting the Man of War in the first main phase. On second. Oh, he's bouncing his own Raven Familiar, trying to dig for the combo, and then there's a Birds of Paradise as well. Okay, that Dim's on mine, hit in the bin. You know what would be really good right now for Mose? If he had a Pyroclasm. I think we're checking the clock right here because this match has gone on for a little while. We are hopefully not going to time. Oh, is that a red elemental blast as well? That must have been off the top. I imagine Mose would have countered the Man of War if he had it, but he can now counter the Raven Familiar, which is probably a better deal, to be honest. Alright, there's the Raven Familiar. It will resolve, okay. I think Mose is just terrified of the combo. He's got 2 red elemental blasts and he didn't want to use 1 on the Raven Familiar. Okay, TK face up showing Mose what he got. He doesn't have to. He is just going to straight up play it for turn though. And then I'm not sure what the other card in hand is for him. Thinking about casting it though. Alright, there's a Wall of Roots. Drops to 11. Fetch land for Mose and pass. Needing some removal to get through these walls. Gonna pay the echo cost for the Raven Familiar. And get in for 1. Those dropping down to 17.
And then I will play a brush land and pass.
Land for turn, say go. Now, if that bird really starts to be an issue,
Turns out,
Mo's can deal with it.
those are cool.
Oh, he also do a rat, but
I will tap 2.
TK not keeping any cards in hand. Okay, there's the Wall Blossoms. We'll draw a card, and there's another Cavern Harpy. Oh no, is this gonna get ratted? It might. I don't know. He should. Okay, first gonna go to combat. Swing in.
Second main. Black.
Tap for a blue and a black. And that will get countered. Yep.
Alright.
Okay, that is all 3 of the Cavern Harpies in TK's deck. He needs, I think, his last Living Wish. He only has 2 to go grab the 4th one. All right, there's a Tempting Wurm. That is a huge draw off the top. Say go. Now, of course, TK can triple block it to kill it, but
2 in hand?
does he want to be expending all of those creatures to do so? 2 of which are very combo important. I'm going to swing in for 1. And now Moses clear to start swinging with the Worm. All right, we're going to tap 2 for rats. Hits a land. Go to combat. Swing for 5. Just going to chump block here with one of the Wall Blossoms and pass. And I believe that's another Wall Blossoms. Draw a card. More walls. Just what Mose wants to see. We are getting a little close to time. And it's going to be a little tough for Mose to win in 5 turns if we do get to that point. Hopefully we don't. We don't often get draws on camera, but sometimes it happens during the Swiss rounds. In top 8 for this monthly, we don't actually do timed rounds, which is nice. Oh, TK is flooding out quite a bit here. And Mose just has gas in hand, it looks like. He's got at least 1 red elemental blast. Okay, there's a land. Where I'm gonna get in for 5. Jump block. Past you. Now Mose could be cracking these fetches, but it does add a little bit more of a clock to the Raven Familiar. Okay, we are gonna fetch at least 1 here. Drop to 11. Grab a mountain.
So it's done like you were 21, but I've taken some. Yeah, you've taken a little bit. Yeah, but it's
Still has a Wooded Foothills that he can crack as well for probably another mountain.
Oh god, now I want a Raven Familiar with Nanawe holding it. That would be funny. Or I guess Captain Howler because he looks the same. Yeah, that'd be cool. Untap, draw. Yeah.
All right, go to Moses' turn. There's a Duress. Gonna fire it off. Hits a land. Yep. All right, we're going to combat, swinging with both. And exiling, yeah, a land.
No, but I can block that. And then I think I do this.
All right, Bird's just gonna get in the way of the Worm. And the Wall Roots can block the Rotting Giant without losing a step. All right, land for turn.
Go to combat. Hit you with
Get him for 1. Both players down to 10. Pass to you.
we'll see.
There's another Rotting Giant for Mose. That's pretty huge. Eventually, TK's gonna run out of blockers. Oh no, that's a rat. Sorry, that's not a Rotting Giant. All right, rat hits yet another land. TK looking through his graveyard, seeing exactly what he can do. Okay, chump block. Or are we double blocking the giant here?
Yeah, I still think I have to do this, unfortunately.
Yeah, double blocking the giant, chump block the worm. That Wall Roots will die. Oh, and there's a red elemental blast to hit the Mana War, so no trade. And just like that, TK's down to 1 creature. And there's an Academy Rector. That's a little
Okay.
too little too late.
White, green, green.
A tap 4 to cast it. He can go find
I mean,
his last copy of Aluren. Or he could get Sylvan Library. Those are his only 2 targets, really.
popping it now means nothing. I have to stop hitting you with bird.
I think TK was looking to see if he could even just sack the Academy Rector, but could not.
I think I pass.
Alright, and it's just going to pass the turn. Not that he'd want to. I think he just wants to hold it as a blocker. Now, Moses burned a lot of removal spells this game, so having an Aluren that his opponent can blind draw into is a little rough, but TK doesn't really have a way to combo out currently. He needs a Living Wish to go get his last Cavern Harpy, and that's the easiest way to do it. Alright, Academy Rector will find the last copy of Aluren. Oh, actually looking at that Sylvan Library. We were joking about it earlier, but maybe in this instance it's better? I don't know. I don't know if there's a way for him to combo out here, really. I guess, no, the only way he could do anything, I guess, is if he grabs Aluren, he gets Living Wish off the top, grabs the Cavern Harpy, returns the Raven Familiar, gets a Brain Freeze off of the Raven Familiar's cast off of Aluren, pays 1 life to return the Cavern Harpy to hand, and then can combo out for the win. Alternatively, if the Raven Familiar finds a Wirewood Savage, I think that works too. Basically, he needs to find a Living Wish. If he doesn't find a Living Wish, I think he's dead. Maybe not that turn, but functionally, I think he will be dead.
Generally, fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't care who wins at this point. Like, I want to win, but...
And again, that's just because all 3 Cavern Harpies are now in the bin. And the 4th one is in his sideboard. Unless he brought it into the main deck for whatever reason this game, but generally you have those creatures in Living Wish packages to not bring in the main. Alright, Moses doesn't want any responsibility of this. We're leaving it as is. Draw. As a Brain Freeze, that's not going to do it. That was the piece that had to come after the Living Wish. So he almost got there. But I think, yep, TK just going to pass. I guess he's not functionally dead here unless Mose has removal for the Raven Familiar. There's a Duress. That will hit the Brain Freeze, and that, I think, is game over. Gonna cast Brain Freeze. Bill you for 6. Alright. Yep. And then has the bolt, and that's the game. Most takes it down in a really sweet set of 3. All right, that was pretty great games. Awesome to see both decks getting to do their thing. Eventually, though, the hand attack deck is definitely going to have the upper hand on the combo deck generally. Anyways, thanks to all you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already yet. It's the best way to support the channel and the best way to find your way back here. If you already are subscribed to the channel and you want to support what I'm doing financially, there is a Patreon link in the video description below. Also should be displayed on screen here, along with all of the amazing patrons so far that are currently subscribed to the channel. If you want to get your name up here, you know what to do. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.